Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Abby and I am a Nigerian immigrant living in Canada, and I make videos based on my life and my journey here in Canada. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly click the subscribe button just right down there on your screen, and when you subscribe, please turn on the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever there's a new video on this channel, and there'll be new videos every week for you. And to my returning subscribers, thank you ever so much. So today I wanted to do a follow-on on a previous video that I have done, and it's the video comparing life in the UK to life in Canada. I'm going to leave the link to the video in the description box just below this video, so please kindly click on that video to watch the first part of this video if you haven't seen that video. Now, I got quite a bit of follow-up concerning that video. Quite a number of people wanted me to talk about other aspects as well, and that is what I would like to address today. So if you'd like to hear me continue my comparison of life in the UK versus life in Canada, then please keep on watching. So the first thing on the list that I want to address in this video is education in the UK versus education here in Canada. Now, for both countries, the systems are pretty similar in the sense that in the UK you've got the elementary school, high school and university. That's quite the same structure that it is here in Canada as well. You've got the elementary school, you've got the high school, and you've got the university as well. And interestingly, both countries actually have the private schools and the public schools. In the UK, elementary and high school education is free, likewise here in Canada as well, up until university level, where you would have to pay a fee for your degree courses. According to my research, the UK actually has over 10 universities that are on the world's top 100 university list. That's pretty impressive, right? On the other hand, Canada has got 3 universities that are on that list, and that is University of Toronto, McGill University, as well as University of British Columbia. Now, for the UK, there are numerous, like I mentioned, University of Oxford, University of Cambridge, University of Warwick, and you've got University of Bristol, University of Manchester on that list as well. But if you had to push the list further up to top 200 list, then you find more Canadian universities on that list. Now, the fact that there are only 3 Canadian universities on that list doesn't necessarily change the standard of education you are going to receive here in Canada if you decide to come and study here in Canada. Now, just to point out the fact that university education isn't actually free in Canada, neither is it in the UK. If you're a permanent resident or you're a citizen in both countries, you are still going to have to pay to go to university. You're going to have to pay to attend university. However, it then becomes quite subsidized for you as a citizen or a permanent resident, compared to if you were coming in to study in the country as an international student. Now, moving on to healthcare. Permanent residents and citizens in Canada are actually eligible for healthcare, and this is offered through Universal Public Health Insurance. And it pretty much works very similar to the NHS system in the UK in terms of benefits and in terms of policies. As I mentioned earlier on, if you're a permanent resident or a citizen in Canada, you don't have to pay to see a doctor, you don't have to pay for consultation, you don't have to pay for basic healthcare services. And I know that's pretty much the same way it is set up in the UK as well for permanent residents of the UK as well as citizens of the UK. I'm also now going to touch on cost of living for both countries. Now, the thing about cost of living is it entirely depends on where you choose to live, right? In Canada, Vancouver and Toronto are about the most expensive cities to live in terms of rent, in terms of just general cost of living. Quite a number of people live in these cities because of work, Some others just live in the cities. They like the upbeat vibe of the city. You know, these cities are very much cosmopolitan in a lot of ways. Therefore, that ticks the box for some people. Nonetheless, there are so many numerous cities in Canada that you can live in, thankfully, because of the size of the country. You can find a cosmopolitan city, a suburban area, or even a small town that actually works for you in terms of what you're looking for in rent, what is available and obtainable, as well as the lifestyle that you can live in that city. And the same goes for the UK, I believe. I know that London in particular is very expensive compared to a city like Birmingham, a city like Manchester, a city like Leeds, and so on. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, in terms of cost of living, you may not have a definite basis to actually choose. You just have to decide what works for you, what each country is offering, what each city that you're looking at in both countries are offering, as well as what you'll be able to afford, right? When you are talking about cost of living, the paramount factor would be the cost of rent or the cost of purchasing a house, right? Now, in Canada, there are certain cities that housing is really expensive. There are certain cities that housing is really expensive compared to others. Yet a number of people prefer to live in that particular city because it works well for them. And the cost that you'd have to pay for the rent of an apartment or a house, the rent of an apartment or any property, or the cost of purchasing any property depends largely on the location of that property. So these are some of the factors that could indicate the cost of living in any city that you choose to live in this case either in the UK or in Canada. But for me, if I were to choose again, I definitely prefer living in Canada compared to the UK. And lastly, employment. A number of people have asked me, what do you think is easier to get employment in the UK or in Canada? Quite unfortunately, I cannot give a definite answer to that question, and that's simply because unemployment is different for each country. What I would say, however, is there are certain parts of Canada, there are certain cities in Canada that are quite promising for some professions, i.e. Toronto and Vancouver again are very popular for IT, fintech, technology based jobs. That's not to say that these kind of jobs aren't available in other parts of the country. It just means that those kind of jobs are more concentrated in those kind of cities. So it's a question of knowing where the gig is for your industry, for your profession, and pursuing to live in whatever part of these countries work well for that profession. And I'm sure that's the case as well when it comes to the UK. These are the other factors that I wanted to touch on: education, healthcare, cost of living, as well as jobs. Definitely love life, and I prefer life here in Canada now. But it would be unfair for me to say that the life that I lived in the UK was substandard to the life that I live now. I hope this video, as well as the first part, which I'm going to link in the description box, has been or is helpful to you if you are trying to decide on life in the UK or life in Canada. If you haven't subscribed to my channel just yet, please take a moment and click on the subscribe button just down on your screen, right now. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you have subscribed to my channel, and please do not forget to like this video. Just simply click on the like button, and by all means feel free to share this video with your friends, family, loved ones. If there are any more questions that you'd like me to address in terms of life in the UK as well as life in Canada, please leave me a comment in the comment section and let's get the conversation going. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.